Happy Friday, ARK players, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today it is update day, and when this video goes live, it should be live. It might just be a little bit before, but I'll be telling you guys all the information you need to know in today's video. Anyway, it is moving day, and for the center, it's finally time. So I'm going to be going through all the news. If anything else changes as well later on, I will bring you guys a video on that. And also, it's Community Crunch Day, so will we see anything today? Considering we got some Aberration and Unreal Engine 5.4 upgrade news last week, I'm not expecting it to be that exciting, but we'll see. The sun is shining in the UK, which is nice for me. I'm in a good mood, so let's get through the news. Now, if you do enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and let's hop into the news. So, as you can see on the screen, moving day is near. The official center transfers will fully open today, the 26th of July at 6 p.m. UK time. So the reason why it's saying it's 6 p.m. because on Discord it shows you whatever time your device is. So if you just want to find that out for yourself, just type in 6 p.m. UK time to whatever time zone you're in on Google, and it'll come up straight away with the time. If I just say it's going to be within like an hour of this video being uploaded, and this will allow players to move items, creatures, and characters onto the map without restriction. Also, they say, yeah, PS, the time you see in this post is based on your device's settings and is the time it will be for you. And if you are in the ARK Discord, then you can go to the, let me just double check now, if you go onto the ARK Discord and go to announcements, they have it as the second most recent post, so that will show you the time if you rather do it that way. So it's finally time, it's time for the center, let's have a lot of fun. As for new updates, we're going to read through now. So there's been some minor ones. They fix structures going invisible when hovering past them with a skin quickly. Fix an issue with premium mods not showing as owned after code redemption. And added premium mod tag on discovery page for transparency. That's actually pretty good. I was actually wondering why there wasn't like a little bit more indication there. And also, guys, updated a previous fix for dragon being invisible. Please let us know if you notice any dragon being invisible again. This has been something this has literally been something that Wildcard have been trying to fix for update after update after update after update, and yeah, it's quite a funny one. So let me know. I think last time in the comments, most people said that this was sorted. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Fix a crash related to mounting dinos, and fixed a random crash, and fixed a teleport exploit. They also fix mod UI refreshing after premium mod redemption, and fix some cosmetic skins that weren't hiding eyelashes and eyebrows correctly when equipped. So that is everything you need to know so far, guys, for the new update today. It is transfer day, and I've seen lots of comments asking me when is it coming. So you can be happy now, guys. Within the next hour of watching this video, it will be time to play. So moving on, guys, to the next part of the video. One of you guys sent me this and told me to cover it and go through it. And it's actually a pretty good read so far. And it's actually to do with the whole player count debate. And this person said it is literally meaningless. And I thought it was quite an interesting thing to read through. We're going to break it down and talk about what I agree with, what I don't agree with. And so let's get into this for the final part of the video. So regarding the player count debate, it is literally meaningless. It is beyond me why gaming communities still do this with every single game, every single release, every time. ARK Survival Ascended isn't dying. It is doing exactly what every other game does after release, is actually doing quite well. Asa has sold 1 million copies so far, or over, pulls an average concurrent player count of 12k sales, 7k new copies per week, and has grossed over 60 million. Given that average development cost of non-AAA games on Unreal Engine 5 is between 100,000 to 10 million, then Asa pulled a hefty profit already and will likely continue to be profitable throughout the next year. Asa is already grossing more per month than ARK Survival Evolved ever did. I determined this by using the total number of sales as an average over time. Now, something I will say on this, now this is an old post like 5 months ago, so things have changed since then. But the only reason for me personally, Asa is making more per month is because they have constant premium mods now. They've got, all different cosmetics and stuff you can buy. So they're going to be making more in that sense of things. But I don't know in the long run if ASA will make more than Survival Evolved did, because you had a lot of players on Survival Evolved waiting for the DLCs. So I actually think overall, maybe Survival Evolved may have made more, but I'm not too sure. Now, with regard to player counts, ASA has come down 88% from launch. That certainly sounds bad, but if we look at some other popular games in 2023, we can see there's a distinct pattern. Note, I chose many different games from different genres to demonstrate the point that this pattern is common to all games in all genres. I'm not using these examples as direct comparisons to ASA. Now, yes, you can do this, but when single player games and like live service and survival games are very, very different. Survival games are probably quite close to story games, but because ARK's got such a kind of live service to it in the sense of its official servers, that's quite a different thing. But Baldur's Gate 3 down 84% from launch, Cyberpunk down 277 down 95 from launch, Lost Ark down 95 from launch, Spider-Man Miles Morales down from 93% from launch, Starfield down 98% from launch, Power down 83% from launch, and Destiny 2 down from 85% from launch. Now, the difference with here is when you've got like a game like Spider-Man, it's always going to go down to the rock bottom, because you're going to have everyone jump on it, complete it, and then move on to something else. And then you will slowly see like a gradual amount of people like coming back just to enjoy the Spider-Man game. And some people later down the line who haven't actually completed it and don't jump straight on it. Like Starfield, Power World is doing pretty well. It's got 70,000 players at the moment, or maybe a bit less now. It might have dropped more down to the 50. But yeah, and then obviously Destiny 2. This is completely normal behavior that every single developer 100% expects, plans for, and budgets for. None of these games are abject failures. Some of them are the most successful games on Steam for 2023. Some of them are in the top 10 most successful games on Steam of all time. The reality is launch week spikes and then a massive drop-off post-launch are pretty typical. ASA is averaging 12 to 15k concurrent players, and last week it had a 24-hour peak of 16k. Players are declining currently, but given that novelty of the game is wearing off and has yet to see its first content drop, that's totally normal, which, yeah, is very, very true. I get that point 100%. And when the DLCs do come out, the player count of ASA does jump up to like sort of 30k concurrently. That's what happened with Scorched Earth and the Center. I'm hoping more for Aberration, but we'll see. ASA's player count, current player counts are completely normal and exactly what any reasonable person should expect them to be. Is a copy of a nearly decade-old game with 10% of its content and 1% of the mods. Of course, the current player counts are what they are. The plan was and is and always has been expect to see the same spikes in the player count and new purchases that ARK Survival Evolved saw each of its content releases, and this will likely happen. Now, the only thing I will say that's different to this is I agree about the less content, but ARK Survival Evolved, even before DLCs released, always kept a solid 40 to 100,000 players, maybe pushing it a bit, saying 100,000, but on a normal day for ARK, on Survival Evolved, it would be between 40 and 70,000 on Steam. So it is a bit of a drop-off, but that is just because there's less content, and there's a massive point here that the game at the moment isn't optimized very well, so that's why less people are on it. There are definite outliers: Fortnite, Apex Legends, Counter-Strike 2, but all of those competitive shooters being supported by massive budgets, intense marketing, and esports events. This is also to be expected. And to be honest, ARK's marketing is so poor. I'm just going to say it now. I've kind of said it in the past, but I'm just being completely honest. The marketing team or whatever is terrible at ARK. I'm not just going to say, like, try and be nice around things anymore, because I just need to be honest that if ARK had a decent marketing team behind them, then in my personal opinion, they would do so much better. I think they're missing a massive thing there. I know the devs have said before, you don't understand the marketing, you don't understand what we do. And yeah, we may not, but from the traditional side of marketing, it's very, very poor. Lots of stuff gets released and no one has a clue that it's even out in the game. That's like stuff like Survival of the Fittest died instantly, and they were saying that they wanted it to be the next big thing, but they just didn't promote it anywhere. Like, you can't just promote it to your small group of 15,000 players on ARK Survival Ascended. Like, that's just not going to work. You need to promote it to a wider audience, and I've never understood why Wildcard haven't wanted to pump money in there. So Asa is doing precisely what Studio Wildcard needed to do. So stop running around saying this isn't normal. It's completely normal. Now, one thing I will say is, I don't think Asa is doing precisely what Studio Wildcard needed it to do, because now they've even told us in the community crunch they need to make money. They need to support the game. So they're obviously looking now. That's why all the premium mods have come in. Yes, that was the plan from the start, but they've made extra things like the Bobstool Tails we had no clue about, the fantastic tames. All of that is completely new stuff. So they have needed, it's not doing exactly what they needed to do, but please bear in mind that this was 5 months ago. For the record, ARK Survival Ascended and ARK Survival Evolved launched to nearly identical player counts and have very similar month-to-month drops and peaks or whatever. It drops, it peaks, it drops, it peaks. Anyone in their right mind would expect the diminished player counts ARK Survival Ascended is seeing versus ARK Survival Evolved historical counts. ARK Survival Evolved was a very new concept, extremely novel, and changed a lot very rapidly. Asa, on the other hand, is a clone of a 10-year-old game that has changed very little and is on a very similar release schedule. Over time, more content releases, player counts will even out and probably spike forth between 40k and 20k over, and that's perfectly fine. Agree with that. Some great points there. 100%. I feel like once all the maps do end up in the game, it will sort of settle out a bit. But it's the fact that what worries me is if they had got this game ready in the past and they had all the maps ready, right, it would have been better than coming up with the concept of ARK Survival Ascended like last minute and then releasing the maps, because it's actually sort of damaging the sales of the game, because they have less players on there, so they have to release more paid stuff to everyone, which I don't think they would do if they had the high player count at the start. But no, some great points there. And I know on my it's under 15k players sounds bad, but in the reality, it just isn't. An average player count of 15 to 20k is perfectly fine. And an edit here for the couple of people pointing out that per Steam charts graph, it looks like Asa experiencing a persistent decline versus ARK Survival Ascended's peak pattern. Asa is a few months old and has not seen a content release yet, and this is normal. That was obviously it has seen a content release yet. And here's some interesting stats and facts about ARK Survival Evolved. ARK Survival Evolved actually lost players on some content releases. August of 2016 saw Asa sitting at 80k players, and then Scorched Earth released on September 1st, and it actually fell to 55k players over the next few months. In December 2017, when Aberration was released, it went from 60k players back up to 60k players, to 90k, and then back down to 50k, of course, over the next 4 months. That pattern just kept on happening with every content release. Asa has not been through a single cycle of that pattern yet. It now has, and yes, it has seen. So this from Spartan G here is completely spot on. Very, very good. I didn't have to sort of break down anything too much here. There's a few bits that I don't agree with because that's changed over time, but it's a very, very good piece, and it's one of those things only time will tell, you know. And I'm talking a lot of time, because we're not going to be getting all of the maps until like 2026. A long road ahead. We'll see what happens. I hope it gets back to its former glory. It will get it. This Unreal Engine 5.4 and game upgrade has to work, because that is another thing that's stopping players from wanting to play this version of the game too. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video later today. See you guys then.